Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hello and welcome to this episode of our show. This is your host, Keith Doherty. Today our special guest is top real estate agent Pennie Carroll of Keller Williams Realty based out of Ankeny, Iowa. Pennie offers a team of professionals with a high level of experience and energy in her successful real estate business. Preparing the home, excellent photography, attracting the seller, negotiating the sale to a successful closing, her team of experts have their clients covered. They have the knowledge of the area and work hard to find the next home and coordinate inspections, partnering with the top lenders in the area. Broker, Realtor, and many designations and awards are evidence of the level of professionalism Pennie Carroll Associate clients receive from their services. All right, with all that said, Pennie, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Keith.
And Pennie, if we could start for our listeners, what led you into real estate? Was it something you always knew you wanted to do, or did you maybe stumble into it?
I stumbled into it. I had no clue that I would make a career out of the real estate buying and selling. How I got started in real estate is I woke up one morning and couldn't get out of bed. My back was killing me. I was young. I was cleaning homes part-time and then homeschooling and taking care of my kids the rest of the time. And I rolled over in bed and I said, I can't clean these homes anymore, so I think I'm going to have to sell them. I've met some real estate agents, and I thought, you know what, if that real estate agent can sell a house, I think I could maybe sell one house a month, and that's what I started out. My goal was to sell one a month to replace my housekeeping income, and then it grew into the team that we have today.
Excellent. And can you talk a little bit about what personal attributes, traits, or qualities you think have most contributed to the success that you've had in real estate?
I think before I was in real estate, I spent a lot of time in my neighborhood networking. I wouldn't call it networking then, but I would host gingerbread building things in our neighborhood and tried to make people feel welcome that were coming into our neighborhood. And that is a good attribute when you're selling real estate, is connecting people to other people. And then being in a community for a long period of time, I think that gives a lot of value to the real estate business because you know a lot of people. And then being trustworthy and honest and also down to earth. People don't like to work with people that have a huge ego. And I think keeping it real and being genuine and wanting to help people find their home and negotiating the best deal for them. I'm a deal maker. I've always cut coupons and saved. And so I think my buyers really appreciate that too because I'm watching out for their pocketbook. I think my sellers appreciate that too because they know I'm not just, that I'm protecting their investment in their home.
And Pennie, I think sometimes whenever somebody builds a successful business or a career, the path to get there is filled with bumps in the road along the way. Can you talk a little bit about some of the adversities and trials that you've had to overcome in order to achieve your goals?
Sure. Along the 14 years that I've been doing real estate, there's certainly been some bumps in the road. And I think from the beginning, I'm just entering that business environment after being home and doing part-time work was a little bit of a disadvantage, and you just have to learn. You have to surround yourself around people that maybe can strengthen your weaknesses. And so the technology part of it, that was an easy trait to learn and overcome. And then as the business grew, some of the bumps that I may have had was trying to juggle all of that on my own, meaning the paperwork of it and the buyers and the sellers. And so how I overcame that was by teaming up with an assistant and hiring my own personal executive assistant that's been with me since 2007. And then we grew the team to a certain aspect and identifying quickly when you cannot handle the amount of work that's coming in. And so then that's when I started building my team and adding my buyers team. And so the buyers that work with my team will have somebody that is specializing just with buyers, and then I take the specializing with just the listings. So we feel like our customers are getting the best of both worlds because they're getting people that specialize in that part of the field. And then on the back end of it, we have now 2 assistants at the office, the executive assistant and then the transaction listing coordinator. And knowing and being able to take those risks within your business can be an obstacle at first if you don't embrace it and do it and be a risk taker. And then I think some of the last probably hurdle that we had in going into real estate was just the down market and preparing for it. And so if you're not grooming that client base and looking for new business, it would be a problem in a down market. And we were able to overcome that. And each year in real estate for 14 years, we've always grown each year consecutively.
And what kept you going, despite these obstacles? Why didn't you give up what your driving force?
Because I needed to feed the family, Keith. That was a pretty strong motivator there when you have somebody that's working for you and they're supporting a family, and then I'm also supporting our family. You get up, you get going in the morning and try to find someone that needs to list and sell their home. And, I could have maybe found that source of income in a different field or a different industry, but I really love what I'm doing. And I think that makes a difference. If you really love what you're doing, you're going to stick to it through the good and the bad.
And looking forward, what's your vision for your business and your career over the next 5 years?
Next 5 years, I would probably say that is going to be a time spent in training and developing the team that we have, so that maybe I'm able to take a step back a little bit and maybe not work as many hours as what I put in right now. And then always each year just looking for the best marketing, probably for our clients and for my team, and then making sure that we have systems in place so that we can have smooth transactions.
And I guess kind of on top of that, what do you feel is the best way that you market yourself as a real estate professional so you can have continual growth?
Some of it is just what we call organic growth. It's just being in the marketplace, in the community that you're in. We call it farming, and paying attention to our communities. We have several communities that we're involved in personally and in a business way, and then giving back. I think sometimes when people are trying to grow, they maybe keep their hands shut and clenched, and growth comes with opening up those hands and giving back. And so giving back to our industry as new realtors come into the market, believe it or not, that also causes us to grow. And then also giving back to our community and those people that have helped us. And I think looking for that new business is important, but also taking care of those clients that have been really good to you.
And I think whenever the general public looks at real estate agents, they don't fully understand the value that they provide from both the buyer and the seller standpoint. What do you think the biggest misconception or myth people have about working with a real estate agent?
I think one of them is experience. Right now, our marketplace, it's a seller's market and a buyer's really because of the low interest rate. So the real estate market's hot right now. And because of that, we're seeing a lot of new agents come into our industry. And so now experience doesn't count, because you will have new agents coming in trying to get business, and their friends are going with a new agent, not realizing that experience counts. And so when it comes time to negotiate the offer, when it comes time to take care of obstacles that come up with title opinions or closings or inspection items, they're now working with somebody that is an amateur, and this is their biggest investment, and yet they gave it to somebody that's never done a transaction or that's only done 5 transactions. We do up to 300 homes sometimes a year. That means that my transaction coordinator, she has had 300 transactions, I should say maybe 275 transactions go through her hands in 365 days. That's how many estimate proceeds she's looked at, how many inspections she's looked at, etc. And then you have my listing coordinator that has entered and listed over 200 homes a year. She knows what to look for. She knows what needs to be done next. We have buyer's agents. 2 of my buyers team, they closed over 100 homes last year. That means that they've negotiated over 100 inspections. They've shown thousands of homes. They know what to look for. Yet experience sometimes doesn't count in this market, and people are going with their best friend that they met at a bar or somebody like that. So experience is one thing. The second thing that maybe people don't understand is that we want to be respectful of their time, and we also want to be respectful of the seller's time. So when buyers are asking us to look at homes, we in return would like that respect. So when they call and say that they need to see a home right now, and no, we don't have a pre-approval letter, or no, we don't have a job secured yet, or no, we don't have our house on the market yet, that's putting the cart before the horse. And they really need to listen to our advice and guidance. I think sometimes they think we're looking for a quick sale, and we're not. We're looking for a client for life. So we're going to make sure that and we also have a responsibility an ethical responsibility to represent you and make sure that we're giving them the attention that they need in finding the home that they want. And so it's not a quick sale. It's not that we are irritated or trying to get things done quickly. We just want it in the right order and make sure they get the right home.
Now, let's say you get a call from a family member or a friend, and they're in another state, and they want to sell their home. Now, obviously, with your experience and being part of Keller Williams, you could easily look up an agent and do a referral. But from a general advice standpoint, what advice would you give them about selecting an agent that could best serve their needs?
First of all, I'd really thank them for calling me because, again, like I talked earlier, experience does count. And we can guide them to the right. You talked about a referral. You know, we could look up any Keller Williams agent. Well, it's more than just looking up another agent and referring them. We're going to interview that agent and make sure that they're teaming up with somebody like I talked to earlier that has done the transactions. They've done the work. They know what they're doing. They're in that marketplace. And make sure that we're placing them with an agent that will best meet their needs and then know the community that they're in. So that would be the very first thing that I'd really commend them on is calling us, and then we'd make sure that they're with a good agent. And then secondly, we would also ask that our family member please listen to the real estate agent, the professional that we have referred them to, because they're going to be able to guide them the best. And then I will tell that family member that I'm going to back out, because the worst thing would be to refer my family member to a real estate agent in another marketplace and then for me to be giving advice pretending like I know a lot about that market. And our industry varies. There are some similarities, but then there's some things that are so different from marketplace to marketplace.
And obviously based out of the greater Des Moines, Iowa area, and if somebody's looking for real estate services or an agent in that general area, what's the best way they can find out more information about you and how you can help them?
They can go to our website, and that's Pennie, Pennie, Carroll, CARROLL.com, and they will be able to contact me through the website or through my phone number, which is on the website, and that's 515-490-8025. We've got a fantastic team, and we can handle a lot of business, and we can do it very well.
Excellent. Well, Pennie, obviously we want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to come here today and share all your professional real estate experience with our listeners. And if you're listening and you want to learn more about Pennie, you can go to her website, like she said. Also, below this interview, we'll have a link to her site and any other contact information we have so you can see how she can help you with your real estate needs. So with that said, everybody, until our next show, have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Keith.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.